Welcome back, everybody. We're going to talk about some exciting stuff today. We're going to be comparing PulseChain to other layer 1 blockchains and show you how the statistics for a chain that's not even a year old are actually better in some cases than a lot of these chains that are popular. They're in the top 20, 30, and they've been out for 4 or 5 years now. And depending on what you look at, what you shine the light at on PulseChain, okay, a lot of these statistics are actually better on chain, meaning the fact that we're so new, the fact that the price is still low, means we have a big gap to close in between, the number of X's that a lot of these other cryptocurrencies out there have actually done. So what you see in front of you right now is the prices over the past 30 days. We've got huge moves in the PulseChain ecosystem. Everything is up, 80, 90% sometimes on INC of all things over the past 30 days alone. And of course, I'm on gopulse.com. If you're new here, guys, all these links in the description below. Check out the links that I put in the description. And that's going to get you started on PulseChain. Links to all the apps, links to all the cool tools and price feeds. So follow along with me. By the end of the video, you're going to learn why I believe that PulseChain, Hex, and PulseX and the Richard Heart ecosystem are specifically poised to run huge in this cycle just by using on-chain metrics. And so really quick, we're going to hop over to apphex.win. If you guys ever want to follow along with me, by the way, apphex.win, apphex.win. Go there. You can see all the PulseChain charts. So this is apphex.win/chain. Okay, there's a lot of a different statistic website that sometimes people don't know about. And we can really choose to focus on any one of these, right? Daily active wallets is a very important metric. Total active wallets just hit 657,000. Pretty remarkable. But for today, let's just focus on one metric that, people don't really look at too often. And that's called daily transactions. So we've been seeing a big spike in daily transactions, 640,000 daily transactions. Again, guys, for a blockchain that's 8 months old. Not even a year old yet. All these other layer 1 competitors, you might say, have been out for many, many years. Okay, a lot of these competitors have been out for many years. Now, we're not an Ethereum competitor. PulseChain was designed to share the load of Ethereum, so they're meant to live symbiotically, synergistically. But all these other ones out there that people are big fans of, Cardano, Phantom, we're going to get into it. We're going to show you the daily transactions. We're just going to hone in on this one little bit of information. So keep this number in mind, guys, 100,000 daily transactions on the PulseChain blockchain. And we're just going to break that down to some other popular blockchains. Cardano is one that a lot of people like for whatever reason, but look at the usage that it gets per day. All right, this is taken, and of course, I'm just assuming that the information on all these websites is accurate, of course. But look at this, guys. 91,000 daily transactions, 93,000 daily transactions. That's like not even close to the over 500,000 that PulseChain regularly gets. So it's obvious to me that the daily transactions, looking at this metric alone, there's more activity on PulseChain than there is Cardano. Cardano's been around for, let's see here. How many years has Cardano been out for? A long, long time now. It's been out since 2017. Cardano is, 7 years old? A 7-year-old blockchain, already gone up from, 2 pennies to 56 cents. And if you want to be nice and just count, this big buying period over here, if you bought Cardano at 5 cents, in 2019, 2020, and you're holding it today, it's at 56 cents. Okay, so you did a 10x, maybe an 11x, okay, on Cardano. It's been around for 7 years. Maybe a lot of people are at a 10x in the price on Cardano, and it doesn't even get a fraction of the daily transactions that PulseChain is getting. So are you following me along here? Look at the on-chain metrics, and you will see the divide of something's got to give, right? So this might be why PulseChain has been pumping recently. Of course, the Richard Heart thing has a lot to do with it, but look at the metrics, guys. The data does not lie. Let's take a look at Phantom. Phantom daily transactions tends to hover around, it looks like 200,000. It's not bad, but it's only about half as much as, it's 1/3 as much as 600,000. So, PulseChain is getting 3x the daily transactions that Phantom is currently getting. Phantom is relatively popular, top 50 coin, I believe, definitely top 100. Phantom's getting a lot of attention, right? But it's not controversial like PulseChain is. And so a lot of people, Phantom's kind of mainstream, and of course, Phantom has been out for a long time. So, a lot of the opportunity is potentially gone. So look at it. People bought it for 2 cents in 2018, 6 years ago. 2 pennies to 40 cents. Okay, let's say you bought it. Let's just do nice round numbers. Let's say you bought it at 1 penny. Now it's 40 pennies. So Phantom did well, did a 40x for people that held it for 6 years. You're not getting those returns in the stock market, but it's 6 years old. It's already sitting at a 40x after the previous cycle. One full bull and bear cycle. And so what we're looking at with Phantom is a 6-year-old coin. It's already done a 40x. Not nearly as much potential left as something like PulseChain. And can't even reach, after 6 years of existence, what PulseChain could do in 8 months. In terms of specifically, remember, we're focusing on daily transactions here. We're just going to focus on one statistic for the video because there's all kinds of stats you can point to. You can pick and choose and compare them. Now, most blockchains do have more daily transactions than PulseChain, yes, because you'd expect them to. You would expect them to because a lot of them have been out for 3, 4, 5 years. Solana's been out for 5 or 6 years, so it should have more daily transactions, just because things tend to get adopted over time. So I'm talking about the popular layer 1 blockchains that have not even been able to beat PulseChain after having so much runway on them, so much of a head start. Think about it, guys. All these coins, Polkadot's another one. Big head start on PulseChain, right? It launched in 2020, so it's been out for 4 years. Wouldn't you expect it to kind of have more usage? Well, not necessarily, guys. Very lackluster. Polkadot only gets 15,000, 20,000 daily transactions. Not great, right? Not great. Cosmos, another one of the top 50 coins. Okay. Look at the daily transactions on here. Pitifully low, 60,000. All right. Now, sure, you can go point to any metric. You can cherry pick whatever metric you want and say, well, this metric is higher on this one. But my point here, guys, is that these coins have existed for a long time. Shouldn't they be higher than this, right? Shouldn't they be even higher than 60,000 daily transactions? So Atom, Cosmos, not looking too good, right? Not looking too good. And that's a coin that is 2019 is when it started, it looks like. Of course, this data could be wrong, but it's been out for at least 5 years. So Cosmos, what have you been doing for 5 years? Not getting a whole lot of adoption, not the adoption that PulseChain has. Now, PulseChain, by the way, guys, hasn't even broken past its sacrifice price. It's sitting at like 15, 20% lower, I believe. Yep, about 15% lower than what people essentially got in for the sacrifice rate, effectively, all right? Think about all the potential there. It still has a gap to close before sacrifice price, and not to mention all these coins are sitting at 5, 6 years later, 40x's, 50x's from where they used to be, even after the bear market. Imagine what PulseChain can do as a first cycle coin in a brand new ecosystem, only 8 months old, not even 1 year old. So that's 4 blockchains, Cardano, Phantom, Polkadot, Cosmos. I'm sure we could find other ones too. And we could always, cherry pick other data points for other blockchains that have had a lot more runway, such as, all these. And here I'm on TradingView, right? You can actually filter by most daily active addresses on this TradingView chart. And this doesn't have every blockchain, like Solana's not on here. But look, if you're looking at Cardano, if you're looking at Solana and other chains, and you're looking at which ones to buy and where to place your bets, consider a new layer 1 blockchain, brand new, undiscovered, highly censored, okay, highly controversial because people don't want you to know how good it is. People don't want you to see these on-chain statistics and how good everything actually is on-chain. You can't lie about these numbers, right? But you're not going to see people talking publicly about it because there's a lot of Richard Hart phobia for some reason, the founder, because he decided to dress up in a Gucci tracksuit one day, and I guess everyone didn't like that. And also the SEC, of course. But you know what? Richard's going to fight back, as you've probably been paying attention. This video is not about that. Let's look at the TradingView most daily active addresses, okay? Let's compare. So let's look at this other metric, right? Let's look at this alternative metric. This is TradingView daily active users, right? Daily active users on PulseChain, for example, are sitting at today 17,000 daily active wallets. It's pretty high for a blockchain that's not even a year old. Keep this number in mind, 17,000 daily active wallets. Let's compare that to a lot of the popular coins on this TradingView ranking site. So remember, 17,000, that's what PulseChain had. And where we start to beat out the competition is right around here at Zcash. So we don't have to scroll far to realize that PulseChain, in its infancy, okay, PulseChain still has more daily active users than Zcash, Internet Computer, Digibyte, Chainlink, Shiba Inu, Polygon even. Polygon's a huge one, been out for years, very popular. We actually have cheaper fees than Polygon, by the way. EOS, Wrap Bitcoin, Bitcoin Gold. I mean, look at all these guys. It doesn't take much to beat out all the competition here. And of course, the coins that are doing better, that have higher than 17,000 daily active addresses, well, that makes sense logically because they've all been out for 5, 6, 7 years. So they obviously should have. But a lot of these coins that have been out, what I'm just showing you guys is that despite being out for so long, still have lackluster on-chain metrics, lackluster daily active users, real people actually using the chain, provably so, than a lot of these coins that have been out for so long, okay? So that's a lot of coins that you see in the top 10, top 20, top 50 when you scroll through, when a normie scrolls through CoinMarketCap, which by the way, this is not a good way to pick cryptocurrencies, just scrolling to CoinMarketCap and picking out of the top 50. Unfortunately, a lot of people do that, but that's not how you should be choosing, where to place your bets. Look at the data. What is the data telling you guys? This is not a ghost chain. This is not a ghost chain. The metrics are going up. Lately, we've been seeing large DAI holders, stablecoin holders bridging into PulseChain, bridging economic energy into PulseChain. But I was only looking at daily transactions, guys. So the lesson here is that framing. It's about framing. It's about perception. And so you out there could go compare a lot of these transactions to a lot of other mainstream blockchains that have had a lot of time to get the adoption and realize that their adoption is not quite where it should be. Or either that or PulseChain is exceeding expectations by far, meaning don't sleep on it and don't let people hide it from you. Don't let the naysayers tell you it's a scam, because clearly it's not, right? So again, if you're brand new to the ecosystem, or if you're comparing, maybe you're perusing the old CoinGecko there, trying to figure out what's good and what's bad, maybe don't just pick by top 50, top 100. Pick by what's got a crazy active community, what's got a whole bunch of bullish news coming out lately, a great bullish narrative, Richard Hart defeating the SEC or on his way there, let's say, hasn't happened yet. And then, of course, the on-chain metrics that cannot lie. You cannot fake daily active blockchain users because it's on a blockchain. By definition, on-chain means it's the source of truth. That's the innovation with blockchains. They are the source of truth. It's like a database that you can only write and read. You can only append to it. You can never go back and change the data. Okay, that's what blockchains are. So look at blockchain data, especially if you're new to crypto. When you're making your decisions, look at blockchain data. Consider the age of the coins. All these coins are brand new relative to, cycle 2 coins like Phantom, right? Pulse and PulseX cycle 1. Some people even consider PHEX to be cycle 1 because, the chart started right when PulseChain launched. So it kind of relaunched Hex again, and that might be cheating, right? But a lot of people do consider Hex, it's also heavily liquidity bonded to PulseChain and PulseX. And it's been pumping just as much as a lot of these other things, going along for the ride. Whatever starting point people buy into, whether they start with Hex, PulseChain, PulseX, I like all three. Some people start with all three. The rising tide lifts all ships because there's so much liquidity tied to all these different coins. Pulse is tied to Hex, Pulse is bonded to PulseX, but that's a topic for a different video. Anyway, I hope you learned something today. Check out the on-chain metrics because they don't lie. And when you compare PulseChain to everything else out there, they want to hide PulseChain from you. They want to hide the data. Mainstream won't pick it up. Be careful. The data doesn't lie. Like, subscribe, share the video, leave a comment. See you on the next one.